Okay, now we are live, I guess, and I would like to welcome you all the participants to our webinar titled Collaboration Key to Success. And I would like to say welcome to our valuable speaker, Linas Staršelskis. It's a great pleasure for us with Social Innovation Agency to be with you today in such a meaningful webinar. And I also would like to thank the young and energetic team of Social Innovation Agency for organizing this event. And first, let me give a brief information about our Social Innovation Agency, and then I will introduce our speaker, and then we have some questions to him to benefit from his valuable experiences. So first of all, Social Innovation Agency is an innovation platform developed as a project of Konya Science Youth Education Association in cooperation with Konya Metropolitan Municipality and Necmettin Erbakan University, because I'm also working in university in the Faculty of Tourism as an assistant professor. And the agency contains 4 sectors, including research, education, publication, social solutions, and project units. Also, Social Innovation Agency is a social platform that carries out its works with demand-focused model, design-focused programs, and value-focused production and public cooperation, and produces sustainable, innovative ideas in accordance with social values. So cooperation and collaboration as a key to success are the main keywords of the agency. Also, the key staff are coming from different social fields. They are really young, energetic young staff, and the fields they are coming from: history, sociology, philosophy, art history, political science, mathematics, data science, city and region planning, biotechnology, educational sciences. So we have a really wide variety of team, and they are experienced in local and international projects, and the agency would like to spread this social innovation culture in our city and country, and contribute to the data-based policy production and social entrepreneurship as a new area with the widespread technology entrepreneurship. So today we are going to host an eminent and hardworking person. Actually, I met with him in Italy, Sicilia, 2-3 months ago, and our colleague from Faculty of Education, Assistant Professor Cemile Doğan, has an Erasmus project, and Linas also is working with her in the same project. So actually, through our talk in that meeting, I have witnessed his huge potential, huge experience, and really knowledgeable person as a young, because it is very exciting for us to see such young people full of energy and enthusiasm, and to work for the benefits of others and society, and is a good leader model. So I would like to thank him for his acceptance our invitation to share his experience with us in that webinar. So let me give you a brief information about him, and then we will let the stage to him. Linas Staršelskis is a founder of Efektas Group company, and he is the president of Social Effect NGO in Lithuania. Linas is a trainer, facilitator, speaker, lecturer of various programs related to personalized professional development, soft skills, and communication. As a lecturer at the University of Applied Sciences and Vilnius University, and certified NLP master practitioner, he is passionate about sharing his wisdom as well as learning from others. So, and his life motto, I really like this: nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And this is really something powerful. So, Linas, again, welcome to our webinar, and thank you for your acceptance to our invitation. Could you talk about yourself a little bit more? as a lecturer and as a project manager.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kevser, for introducing Social Innovation Agency and briefly myself. As I mentioned, we had quite a huge potential discussion while we were in Palermo, and quite frankly, I was really inspired by work your agency or your team is doing. And for me, that is I would say, the most interesting thing, to work with people who actually enjoy what they're doing and they feel the purpose. That's kind of how I select partners and collaborators. And yeah, as to talk about myself, which I don't like to talk about myself, to be honest. I like to talk about future. But nevertheless, I could share maybe at the beginning how everything started. I was quite young, I think 23, 24 years old, when I began to work with people, consulting them regarding personal development questions, communication, and even relationship a little bit. And as I was seeing potential, and as I learned, as I was trained in the field of NLP, I found that it's very powerful and effective methodology for personal.
Linas, welcome again.
Yeah, I think the connection broke from the university, so I joined mine, and I think now should be better.
Okay, perfect.
I was about how we began and about bragging. So one thing I'm really proud about, and that really challenged me as a person and as a business. We did our first public speaking conference in Lithuania, which was really a big challenge for me. I mean, psychologically, I mean, I identically, because I was still young back then. Nevertheless, I had a chance to also later get introduced with Erasmus field and mobilities for youth and youth workers. And my first Erasmus was 1 week in Serbia, in Belgrade, and that week was really a breakthrough for me. I realized that this kind of thing should be spread all around the continent, or at least in Lithuania, because back there I was in the group of 32 people from 28 countries in Europe and in Europe. And one evening we were like drinking a little bit and partying, like relaxing, like normally. And at some point, people began to discuss politics, history, past, who conquered who attacked who, and so on. And I was really worried, because it felt like the real conflict is about to emerge. Imagine, like young people and so on. And at some point, someone said, but it's all the past, and now we are here, and we are here for the different things, and all of them just relieved the tension and accepted that past was a past and present is a presence. And that really was epiphany for me, to see how people change and how they overcame their history pains, I would say, or scars. In Lithuania, we still have some prejudices regarding some events in the history. That's why I said that more Lithuanians had to go abroad and open their views, and see that the world is more friendly than the TV and news are saying. And that's how we began to do. That's how we began to act as a partner for and as a sending organization for the youth mobilities. Sending many people. I think we had like 20 up until now. We had like 20 or 18 Key Action 1 projects, and we sent a really huge number of people to abroad and to experience them. I mean, these mobilities. Second thing, how we grow and how we developed. I discovered Erasmus for teachers. And I began to do the training courses for educators, headmasters in the schools, and teachers. One of my good partners is in Turkey as well. We work now 3 years or more, and that's how I also learned Turkish and get so many friends there. And what I also learned that in those events, in those training courses, I was the one who was actually opening teachers' eyes and their point of view, inspiring them to be better, to improve themselves, and apply what they learned. And I really enjoyed to also get their experiences, because this allowed me to see what is education situation in each country. So it was mutual learning, mutual collaborations. With some of them, I'm still in touch. With some of them, I'm not. I'm not, because of maybe the language barrier or something else. Mm-hmm. And we grow further, and then we reached bigger projects. I would like to give credits for one lady in Bulgaria who actually brought me in those Action 2 strategic partnership projects in the field of youth. She introduced me. She kind of trained me informally, introduced the partners with her network, and I acted as her junior project writer, reading and rewriting her projects day and night. And actually, she was more energetic than I am. And she's, I don't know, maybe 60 plus years old. I was really surprised how she writes me at 12 in the evening, at 1 in the evening. She was a really big inspiration for me, and she still is. And that's how little by little, we got success in the projects. We met more partners as we went to the international project meetings, and we got more success in the following years. And if I'm not mistaken, now we have involved or passed 9 Action 2 projects, and which is in the field of volunteering, vocational education training, rural development, social entrepreneurship, soft skills, and so on. What I really enjoy is that it allows us, our team, and me to really learn from different fields and merge this knowledge into something else. For example, the social innovation can be really useful when it comes to business, to marketing, right? To fund some events and be seen is far cheaper for the company than promoting themselves, buying TV commercials and so on. And that's little by little give us inspiration and good practices to see what is possible within the field of social innovation and helping people to reduce this ego part where we want to grow, expand, make money and so on, which is also fine. But yet, the future, I believe, is about social problem solving. And that's what gives, I would say, junior generation now, the generation that is at the moment born in 2000, and later on, they're more aware of these issues, and they really want to solve it. And I believe that is the future when it comes to business. What else? When it comes to our expertise, I would say we are mostly in the soft skills and project drafting and writing. We really cherish, and I really push my team to have a specific selection for the partners, for the collaborators, because as we learned in the early stage, it's good to have quantity, and it's better to have quality. Because as we reduced number of the projects that we focus or we are involved as a partners, the success rate increased, the satisfaction rate increased, and evidently we had a motivation to work more regarding this. So all this hard work that we do doesn't feel so hard when you actually see the purpose, when you actually enjoy it, when you work with the professionals rather than the ones who just produce projects like a factory without any interest in having impact on the people. And due to that, from the middle of the last year, we began to focus more into the peripheric areas, into more rural districts in Lithuania, to involve youth and adults in those areas, to give them opportunities, and at least to explain that there are opportunities like Erasmus, which gives you the chance to travel for free, to learn what is maybe interesting for you, and also connect with people in abroad and find some maybe lifelong friends. I believe in 30 years of Erasmus, if I'm not mistaken, there is 1 million Erasmus babies. I believe it's not the objective of EU Commission. However, it really serves the purpose to unite Europe, to open the borders and really see that the neighbor is not that scary as maybe some media might be saying. And I really enjoyed so many experiences, moments, playing with the board games, walking in the night, getting lost somewhere in the city, or doing some kind of activities in non-formal ways. It really connects the people at least for that week. And after you come back home, you feel as if like part of you is there. It's like you lost like some close friend or something, and really want to get back on that. And in a way, it's good. You keep improving your mindset, but at the same time, you should give a chance for the others to also improve their points of view. And good practice for me is that statistically, or at least from my point of view, Turkey is the most active in Erasmus field. If I look for the partner or for connections in Turkey, it's just a snap of the finger, and there's anyone ready to do this. Yeah, it's just finding the good quality people who really focus on doing the impact. And that's why I really have a huge motivation to work with your innovation agency and push myself, push you, and to see how we can do things in Turkey and maybe abroad. Maybe we can be a good example for the other cities, districts, for the other countries. And as you mentioned, we can have some kind of forums and share what we did, what is capable, and inspire this way others, because that's, I believe, how it starts. First you see, you consider, and then you think maybe we can do this as well. I could share with you some moments from our events. If my presentation disappeared, but let me see if I can.
Yeah, we can wait. Was the connection lost? Most probably you have to re-upload.
Yes, it's all right. Yes. This is our team from the last year. One interesting fact. I hope you see my screen.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. One interesting fact is that until middle of the last year, I was the only Lithuanian in my company. Any other person, volunteer, intern, or employee, was from abroad. So here you see people from India, Azerbaijan, Lebanon, Nigeria, and Chile. Now we have one person two actually people from Turkey. One is a wonderful project designer, and the other one is a filmmaker. And if you see videos now on our social media, that is the person who is filming it. So plus for you. How we do things, we aim to inspire people to continuous personal and professional development and reinvent education. Me, myself, I began from personal development field from practice. And now as I grew, teaching teachers, now lecturing in 2 universities, I find that there is so much space, and actually it's available to do the change in education. I was fortunate maybe to find institutions where I can do that and I am allowed that. And maybe in 1-2 years, I will share some good practice as well there. Our core values, how we moderate our work or how we design our work is through motivation. We mostly love and believe in our work. I'm not saying it's 100% we are passionate, we are all the time full of energy. No, there is ups and downs, but the focus is enjoy what you do and have interest in that. Friendliness, meaning that we don't have any prejudices and we value each other equally. I don't like to say that people work for me. I rather say people work with me or I work for them. In this way, it's, I would say, more empowering. Creativity. Yes.
I would like to say something. We just see your slide, our mission and our vision. If you move on, we cannot see it. And now core values is appear.
Okay. So then I will keep it that way. When it comes to creativity, I would say I use two statements for that. One, there is always a way. There is always a solution. It's just a matter how open you are to solve a problem. And second, you always have a choice. So if you have a challenge, you should know that you can solve it. And once you solve it, you should know that there is more than one solution. And that's how I train my team and myself and my students to think there is always a way to solve problems. Fourth, we aim to have fun. Me personally, I'm a person who is serious and, as you said, hard working. But when you don't have fun with your, participants, with your team, the work becomes a little bit bitter. So always we try to aim for the fun. And partnership is that we put forward relationship rather than the profit or the benefits, which proved to be quite a good decision. Well, when it comes to our expertise, it's NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. If you don't know what is that yet, I can explain you maybe in the end if that will be interest. Coaching, I think, is heard for many of you, non-formal learning methods, designing projects and different activities and programs and implementing them. Activities, boring, projects, boring. Target groups is all right. And yes, some photos from our exchanges, how people enjoy and what people do when they travel abroad. This particular event was really an epiphany for me. It was focused on movement and drama, how it can help you to express yourself. And that really worked on me. I'm not very expressive person, not very animalistic as they say, or like I'm emotional. And after that week, I was seeing myself differently. I was able to express myself easier and accept my emotions also far easier. So different approaches works out really interesting ways. I work with the Garage Erasmus, which is an Italian organization supported by European Commission. And what they do, they focus on a professional network of Erasmus people, meaning that if you had an Erasmus experience, they work with this target group to help them to find a job in Italy and the other countries. I believe you could also be part of their network as a non-profit organization. In their, let's say, pool, a database of partners, they have universities, companies, NGOs, and so on. and they're looking for the new partners. So I believe that can also be one of the ways how you can connect with them.
It would be great if you can share the network link, so we
yes, just for me to mark it, not to forget.
Yeah, I will remind you later as well. Don't worry.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, training courses for teachers, a little bit experiential training. For me, most impressive, I would say, is when I see men, Turkish men, who are serious, headmasters, teachers, who has serious faces and they don't talk much, to see how they open up in activities. How they start talking, how they share their opinions, how they give their opinions. It's really wonderful to see these changes in the people, and I'm always surprised to see this change about the men in general. Some study visits that we organize in different institutions, networking events that was at the very beginning of our business, I would say, company, where we were fostering for people to come to one place, talk, share their contacts, and maybe create something useful. And also we worked a little bit, still work with the businesses, with the startups, consulting them how they can be excelling, maybe get funding or find good partners. And here we are at the end. I would say the easiest way to get our contact is to do this screenshot. Otherwise, if you write on Google or on Facebook, anywhere Efektas Group, you always, I believe, find us in the first line. If not, tell me. I will do my best to put ourselves in the first ranks. I believe that would be it regarding the formal part of this presentation. I believe I shared mostly what we do, and I hope that I gave the impression of what is my profile or whatever.
Yeah, it is perfect, amazing presentation about your organization and what you have done so far in terms of Erasmus projects and how you started. Actually, there is a question, most probably that participant missed the first part of your speech, because Tuğçe Kayıtçı asking you, how did you meet with the projects? And I remember you already answered that part. And she is also asking, what is the subject of your first project as a participant or as a manager? So
the very first project was training for trainers, because that was my interest back then, to improve myself as a trainer, to learn different approaches, activities, methods, and the style of the presenter. I still do the same way. When I go to event, I learn the style of the presenter, and I take best of his qualities. Either it can be speaking style, body language, ethics, or how he delivers some topics. So that was my interest, to learn how to be a better trainer. And that I did. I was really lucky to have good experience. I'm not saying that every project or every mobility in Erasmus is a wonderful experience, like a fairy tale. It is not. It's like a lottery, really. Unless you know the partners, the organizations with whom you work. But in the very beginning, it was like a lottery, and we had some good and some bad experiences, and yeah, that's a gamble in a way.
Thank you. Also, in that part, I would like to add something, because you said it is like a lottery to be involved in a project, and if it is funded, if you did not know your partners before, so you never know how it will proceed during the implementation part. So in that part, maybe it's good to explain some challenges, because managing projects is really actually hard work. It seems like a dream job from outside. Everybody is willing to take part in projects and in doing activities, in traveling parts, in collaboration, etc., etc. So you see, when you post something in the forums saying that you have a project idea, you get hundreds of responses from people. Everybody is willing to take part and eager to take part. But then when it comes to reality, when it is funded, actually I have experience for more than 16 years involving in Erasmus projects. And in each project, even though we know the partners from the beginning very well, we have lots of problems in the implementation process. So maybe we also need to talk about these parts, because there are some challenges and during the implementation. And when we look at these statistics, all of the funded projects, only 2.5% of the organizations successfully complete the projects without any problem. The rest, actually, it is a kind of problem solving and dealing with the challenges. If you have strong and capable staff who have really good skills of controlling their team or problem solving or for conflict resolution, and then you may be okay at the end of the project, because the right mix of planning, controlling, monitoring can make a difference in how project managers complete the project on time, on budget, and with high quality results. Also, to lead a project, you need to be a good project manager. So it isn't supposed to be a leader, not only for the project, but also for the team. And managing projects is also no less than running a small city. You have to take care of projects, resources, deadlines, manage the budget properly, ensure proper communication among partners and among your inner key staff, and foresee potential risks and whatnot. So taking care of so many things can be somehow nerve-wracking, and it is not surprising if something slips out of in your mind. And every day we hear that the same stories, common challenges and issues in project management, and yet we fail to learn our lessons out of those stories. But what makes us stronger? To learn something from each problems and each failure. So we should not give up in a single problem or in a single, because we are all human beings, and one of the main reasons of Erasmus to help us to learn, to improve, how to collaborate in a kind way, in a shared responsibility, etc. Because there are also newcomers, and one of the issues, the new Erasmus rules, they are welcoming newcomers as well. So we have to be understanding and tolerance to teach others as well somehow how to take part in these projects. Also, maybe it is also good to know that in the beginning, sometimes the project managers, sometimes the young ones and the team members might not be knowing what exactly to expect from the project. If the goals and objectives are not clearly defined from the beginning, then the project is doomed to fail. And when no one is aware of what's, whys, and whens of the project, what will follow is a lot of confusion and chaos as well. So it is important starting a project with a clear objectives and prepared plan. It is like going on a road trip with no idea where you are going and how to get there. You will waste gas, time, efforts. Likewise, the business suffers when there is no clarity and forethought before starting a project. So I just want to add these parts as well, some reminders to the new beginners for such project issues as well. And now I come to my second question. Why collaboration is a key to success in international competence?
It comes down to the basics of business. You can't succeed alone, really. I wanted, I tried, and I realized that in as much as it makes me slow and exhausted, I can achieve more, I can go further with people, with partners, with the suppliers, after you do all these trials, yes, then That's the key. Unless, of course, you don't have ambition, unless you just want to be an expert, let's say average level, and just do the things that only you can manage. That's also fine. You can succeed, but one thing that young people don't understand, I think maybe because of the media or lack of understanding how world works, is that you are never alone in this world. You always have to talk with someone. You always have to buy from someone. You always have to book from someone. And if you don't know even the basics of communication, negotiation, presentation, you can't succeed, because you have to convince someone to give you a discount. You have to convince someone to involve you in their project, for example, or that you are good. You have to learn to present your expertise, your skills, and that is gradual process, making connections, friends. It's like moving into a new neighborhood. You have to know the logistics first, the infrastructure, and the people. Otherwise, when you get in trouble, you don't know to whom to call. And same is also with the business, or even with the projects. You mentioned that the issue are partners, that you have many proposals, many calls, and even though, I mean, you have a huge experience, many years, far more than I do, I really seriously take now the relationships and partnerships, because it really affects my own motivation and interest in what I want to work. Quite frankly, 2 years ago, or even less, 1.5 years ago, I was about to give up projects and Erasmus, because I had 2 in a row really weak projects, and the content in that was really, even though it was profitable and I liked profit as well, I said it doesn't give me satisfaction, and it is just a waste of time. And now we do selection to whom we involve in projects far more carefully. And key, I would say, is to be involved from the very beginning. You give them tasks, or you give partners task assignments. You see how they respond to them. You analyze how fast they answer your emails, messages. If they say they are busy, it's better to avoid these kind of things, because especially in Erasmus, if organizations are very busy, that can strike down the quality and the responsiveness and the deadlines. So better to work with the ones who at least are busy but respond you on time. This communicates the professionalism, and even though they are busy, they can still manage their time properly, which means they will be able to manage the project when the time comes. Next thing is to involve your partners and share vision with them in I would say as detailed as possible, giving them questions to answer, asking what they can do, and dividing work. What else you said was that the good manager leads to success of the project. I would agree with this partly. I would say success of the project is partnership. If you're the only one professional in the consortium, and there are 3 organizations who are completely new or unprofessional, you can be the best manager. You can do anything. It's like riding a car where there's only one wheel. It's very hard. It's very hard. So better maybe to reduce ambitions and aim for the simple ideas, at least for the beginning, and give yourself a time to refine, to do the test with your partners. Either it is rejected or confirmed projects. And it is a slow process, especially for young people. Slow things are much slower and it's hard to maintain it, but the results come. the hard work and the smart work always pays off. And by building relationship with people, you succeed faster, much faster. I mean, don't drop good colleagues, partners, because they don't respond to you one or the other time, or they didn't involve you in the project. Good people are very rare. So if you find once, be patient. Be patient, be creative. It's not always one way how you can work with them. Maybe they can refer you to something or refer something to you. I mean, just be creative. Find good people and keep them close to you like they're diamonds. That's what we do now and what's working for us. And I always advise the same thing to you. At the same time, it's a learning process. We are fortunate now to have really professional partners, and without any project management courses, we learn from them how to manage project properly with the infrastructure, management of the paperwork, activities, meetings, and so on. So we get good practices, and at the same time, we teach our other partners who might not be so much smart or educated. Yeah, and it's relationship in the end. You have to be careful. You have to be intentional in the ways that I said, actively involving, analyzing how they respond, what is their expertise, if they are relevant. Yes, and the last thing, don't be afraid to say no. We are so, when it comes to projects, we all want to be involved everywhere. Don't do that. Just say yes to the ones projects, even to your partner. You don't need to do anything. Just say yes to the ones that are relevant to your field, because you are building your profile, you're building your expertise. And for example, okay, you are a social innovation agency, and you get completely irrelevant topic to yourself. For example, I don't know, some school project is school exchanges. It might not be relevant to you completely, because maybe it's more relevant to you to learn about startups or policies or something like that. Maybe something about migration might not be that good as learning about rural development or circular economy. Yeah, so give space to the ones that are relevant to you, and feel free to say no. People have to learn and accept that.
Thank you for your answer. This is valuable information. We have another question from Nesibe Hekimoğlu. She is also working in Social Innovation Agency. So I would like to ask her question. She asked, how do you evaluate youth management within the scope of European Union projects?
How do I evaluate youth management? In what sense?
Within the scope of European Union projects. I think she would like to ask if the youth management is successful somehow. How the youth can manage the project, maybe based on your experiences, or still they need some mentors to guide them, or...
I would say it should increase a lot. It's achieving the goal, achieving the objectives of a European Commission. However, there is so much abuse in the field, so much. I hear stories when people get the grants of the projects, they just take the photos and no more mobility at all. They take the money, or they do three exchanges into one. They give fake certificate names and so on. I mean, there's so much abuse, and the sad part that European Commission is not addressing this thing, though I believe they know. Or at least they close their eyes. However, the fact that people still go on exchanges, they still travel. Yes, they might be having fun and vacation for free, The idea of Erasmus is education and uniting the Europe, showing that there are no borders and we are all similar and same or different in some of the other ways, and learn from that. And as long as the program exists and mobilities are happening, I would say at least it is satisfactory level and the goals of the program is being achieved. It's just, it could be far better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you very much for this answer as well. So I would like to add something, this collaboration issue, because collaboration is the key point to make processes more efficient, and it promotes empowerment and collaboration, also foster innovation. And the more people with different cultural and knowledge backgrounds working on a same problem or on a task, the more chances that they will find the best solution possible to tackle the issue at hand. Also, building partnership models which are long-lasting, scalable, or transformative, and which create shared value will be the key. For example, developing countries face massive challenges with youth unemployment, and as the 2/3 of the youth population aged 15 to 24 are unemployed or in irregular employment. So the impact of this global economic change is likely to exacerbate the problem, and the high unemployment rate among young people can be the potential source of social unrest and political instability. And Dateline International understands that it is also an opportunity. So the general objective of Erasmus program is very important in that respect, because this program is to support and through lifelong learning the educational, professional, and personal development of people in education and training, and youth especially in Europe and beyond, thereby contributing to sustainable growth of the youth and quality jobs and social cohesion, to driving innovation and strengthening European identity somehow and active citizenship. They provide lots of opportunities for youth. So they have to benefit from these opportunities actually, and the program shall be the key instrument for building a European education area, supporting to implementation of the European strategic cooperation, and with its underlying sectoral agenda as well. So it is in advancing youth policy cooperation under the European Union Youth Strategy 2019 and 2027, and developing the European dimension in youth and sport. So I always advise and suggest my students, university students as well, to engage somehow in such kind of projects to improve themselves, to learn the basic skills. And for that, of course, they have to improve their language. So they have to be at least communicate in the second language for this. So it is very important. And what could be done for future collaborations? Can you, between our institutions for the future?
What can be done are many things, as we spoke in Palermo. First of all, I really would like to come and to meet the staff, to see what you have done so far, and meet maybe even municipality managers, because I was really surprised that your municipality is putting effort and attention for this kind of things, and also funds, which is a wonderful experience, and I myself want to learn from that. How I see it is that, I mean, we do mostly education training in business, innovation, creativity, social aspects. One thing is we can apply, we can create a common events, projects, activities in Turkey, either asking funds from the government or from Erasmus. I would say what would be more sufficient is to train maybe some particular people within your team in social and entrepreneurship or social innovation field, which later can be act as a catalysts, as a trainers, facilitators for the future events. And these future events could be, I would say, maybe hackathons or some forums, some debates. In Lithuania, there is a good practice. It's called the Startup Fair. And every year, every spring, they gather people and they invite some fast-growing or potential startups in different areas, in fintech, in blockchain, in education, and so on. And they just explain what myths, what are the legends or facts that are fake, that is not true in reality. How to run business, how to start it, which business forms are better, and simply what it takes to be successful. And I was in that event once or twice, I think. And even though I know about the business quite a lot, I teach it myself, I still found it useful, and in terms of content and in terms of contacts, because many people like me go there. So it helps me to network, to expand my network, and maybe find some clients, partners, suppliers, and so on. One thing I would like to come back to what we spoke about the key for success and collaboration is that good people attract good people. So when you associate yourself with the professionals, they attract professionals. They recommend you professionals, and that's the easiest way to succeed, I would say. Like, just find professionals and associate with them, be in their circle, and ask them for referrals. That works like a magic. Yeah. So back to what we can do. At the same time, what we can do the exchanges. Between Lithuania and Turkey. We can have some maybe study visits. We are part of Kaunas Chamber of Commerce, which has most business members in their database at the moment, and they're very open for collaborations and how do you call this, like business missions and activities. Also, they are active in Horizon Europe and Erasmus and so on. I believe that could be a way. Though, as I mentioned, local events, let's say hackathons or some kind of lectures. I hope you know what are hackathons, or I should explain.
Yeah, hackathons, we already organized in 2017 in one of our...
So that proves to be really successful and effective in terms that you spend 2 days of producing the solutions. And to have a continuation from this, you should also provide mentors who can help to support these ideas to maybe upgrade to the next levels or to reach prototype stage or at least the starting stage as a business. And I would say that this is kind of an efficient model for having the results: education, raising awareness about social innovation through events, either and practices in Turkey and abroad. I also work with the Ukraine internally displaced people organization. They also are quite big, and they are also teaching Ukrainians about social businesses, how to run it, how to start it, and what are the examples. So one way is education, other way is giving the right support with the mentorship, and I would say the third way would be to give sufficient, legal support, because many people who start business, they just have idea, they have the business model, they go there and they don't know what to do with the intellectual property, they don't know which business type to choose. They don't know how to pay VAT or profit taxes, and what are the taxes for employing people, or how they can use social business status for their advantage. So all this legal information, I would say, is very crucial and important, as well as mentorship.
Okay. Yeah, we can do this. We can talk about the details because I know you will most probably come to our university with an Erasmus project meeting in May. So when the dates are exact, we can talk about what we can do, something face-to-face, maybe to braining for the future ideas, how to make some of them you mentioned now can be real in the future. So we will discuss the details, but they are all really nice ideas to start collaborating because the things we are doing almost similar. We are working in different countries, but we can learn from each other. And also the number of international research collaborations continues to rise, and it is for good reasons. And it is easier than ever to connect with overseas colleagues, and doing so can be an effective way to share advanced knowledge, an important component in the internationalization, because internationalization is something really a milestone and very important for both universities and social innovation agency and any kind of organization who would like to be successful in the long period. So Erasmus Plus consists of multiple funding lines supporting partnerships and collaborative projects for both of us or organizations, so we can work in strategic partnerships together, or we can even work for the local funding in our own regions and country. And also we believe this internationalization enhances the quality of the education and research in order to take part in international community. As you said, the good people attract good people, so we need to reach those good quality people, and we see you as one of these good quality partners, so we can enlarge this opportunity, helping each other. Also, mobility is one of the significant pillars, as you said, in the development of our young staff's foreign language skills and their leadership skills, project management skills, through being a part of internationalization experience. And they will improve themselves and will get prepared for a professional world on an international level. So not just in Turkey, but maybe to widen their horizon in Europe. This is something must. And my last question, what are your suggestions to young people as new beginners, as a successful project managers in the future, based on your experiences again?
Suggestions?
Yeah, suggestions. For example, to have no experience.
Has no experience?
In projects.
Read a lot and be patient. Those are the two things that will bring your success fastest. The way I was trained, I just read a number of projects and I was just editing the phrasing or improving the content in general, how project is written, meaning that I didn't just read, I also was rewriting it. It was really, I would say, complex task, but in the end, it increased my vocabulary, understanding how projects are being written, what are the activities and possibilities, what are the priorities, what kind of partners we can find, how we can do the things, what are the feedbacks from the national agencies. So just by reading, you acquire so much knowledge. At the same time, you build your library. I mean, in the project application form, there's always some questions which are being repetitive from time to time. So what you can do, you just take the parts that are most common repeated, let's say target groups, risk management, budget management, dissemination. And when you write the project, you just see which one is fitting and you just put that in, moderate and so on. And that, I mean, for young people, I'm also have the same issues. The idea is to focus, be patient, because it's not a fast process. I mean, it's not a posting a picture on social media. You write the project, which can take up to 1-2 months. You wait for results for 3 months. and then you get the chance to implement it and see the partners, communicate with them, and so on. Communication, by the way, is the hardest part of the project. Yeah, so lots of patience and tolerance, because other people with whom you work are different. You don't know their life story. Maybe they got sick, maybe their family got sick, maybe they have kids, or they have university, they have exams. You don't know. So you have to be patient in the first place, and that will give you success fastest. Those who are rushing, dropping, coming back, switching, those are wasting their time, and in the end, they just waste their energy and time and don't achieve the results. Focus on one area, name it project management, events, whatever, and just work steadily on this for 1-2 years. And if then it will not work, then if you don't gain, then you can consider changing something. But give yourself a time. I mean, this area in particular is slow, so it requires to be patient and focused. Those who are focused, they get fastest results. I mean, me, I'm not a project manager, but due to the fact that I read a lot, I worked a lot, I was trained indirectly, and I got efficient in that, and I got successful. I mean, in 3 to 4 years, having 9 cash and 2 projects, I would say is a huge success, having in mind that, let's say, organizations get 10-15% grants of their projects. So that would be it. I mean, be consistent and know where you want to go. I would say that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you are right. They have to be patient and tolerant, and they have to read a lot. I always tell this to them as well. Also, I need to add something maybe what you have already mentioned. Listen and engage is also very important. So because we cannot learn if we don't listen, and this is the time to soak everything up and pay attention to the landscape of your team, or study your target, your partners, and the people living in different regions of Europe, etc. So they need to start to recognize the strengths, their own organization and teammates, an important skill for successful project management in the future, and then take all that great listening and engage with the team members and stakeholders in ways that matter to the project success. Also, they have to become a problem solver. So sometimes, the juniors, the youth rush into the doing, as you mentioned, of project before analyzing all the dependencies and identifying all the risks, because they see it's a kind of travel opportunity. And then see how much preemptive problem solving you can do upfront to contribute to your team, because you have to be a good problem solver, not panicking. And the best lessons come from mistakes. So we need to learn from the mistakes, because otherwise we can never learn. I did lots of mistakes as well, and I'm still doing mistakes while I am working on the projects. But I always see that mistakes as an advantage, because I can learn some lessons from them. And in the next project, I will try to behave according to the results of the previous mistakes, because only valuable lessons we can learn if we apply to the learnings. Also, being an effective team player. So we need to be both serve our team in our projects and learn how to optimizing our team members' expertise. And we need to know the targets from the beginning very well. And also we need to enjoy taking on responsibility without full authority, because one day you will be the person making all the big decisions, but don't rush it. So these are the golden days of opportunity when you can take changes and learn in a forgiving environment without having to take a bit hit for responsibility. So also mentorship, finding a mentor is also important. So because there are many theories on what makes an appropriate mentor, but here maybe co-workers or managers or some academic mentors or family members or teachers, friends. So it is also good to have someone to ask some advices, etc., to learn from their experiences. And Also, emotional intelligence. I always said that it is very important, learning how to read people, because some people know how to read the mood of a room, but people's skills can be learned. So learning about human behavior, actually it's a lifelong process, not easy, but if you are really good at it or work really hard at developing your emotional intelligence muscles, you will stand out among your peers in a difference. And they need to be open to change, embrace change. So uncertainty is part of every project. So there will be many unexpected surprises in your project. And you need to be flexible, adaptable, improvisational, and be the person who is ready for change and comes armed to the emergency meeting with strong solutions. And of course, maybe this is the most important part, be kind, be honest, have a sense of humor. Being in charge doesn't mean you have to take on a dictator's personality, treat people the way you would like to be treated, with respect and as a sense of humanity. After all, we are all in this together. So it is not possible to make everyone happy. We have to think on that, focusing on choosing the young people who are serious about learning from the project. We do not need to be sensitive to those who take someone else's rights by using your organization for their own benefits. So we need to be accountable for spending the budget as well for the right people. And we hope we will not be afraid of Erasmus Plus projects writing after the information you have from after this webinar. And this is when you know what to do. So thank you so much, Linas. I would like
one question.
to
Sorry, one comment. To help your team and the others to understand why it is important to be patient, I like to use one metaphor. For example, imagine you just won a lottery of, let's say, 1 million euro or dollars, right? So you think you know what you will do with this money, but you don't, because you are completely uneducated how to deal with this amount of money as a young person. You get the money, you waste it in, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks or 1 month. And then tax department comes to you and says you lost all your money, you broke your cars, you wasted all of it, and now you even need to pay the tax. So the thing here, you once for success, you got it, but you don't know how to manage it. And the same is with the projects. The process of reading or finding the partners, writing, discussing is a process of learning how to manage the success, because once the project is granted, you say, okay, what now, right? And if you didn't have a plan to address some activities, some risks, or some other parts of the project, if you didn't foresee this, the project will fail or will give you lots of stress, and you will pray for it to end up as soon as possible, right? So this process of learning is actually learning how to manage the success. So once it will come, you will enjoy it, and you will be able to manage it and grow. That's how I would say this can be seen. Thank you, Kevser.
Thank you, Linas. It is really great to see you and listen to your experiences. And I know it will be a kind of inspiration for the other youths who follow your path somehow, who would like to improve themselves in internationalization and collaboration with different organizations in European level, or taking part in these Erasmus projects or in other local, national or international funding projects, because in all of the projects, the main success key is collaboration. So we need to collaborate in a healthy way and in a fruitful way as well. So if you have any last ending remarks, we can listen to you. And we will see you, I hope, in May and face to face. So we will talk about the details, what we can do together.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay. So thank you again for your kind
Thank you. Thank you, Kevser, for inviting me. I really enjoyed talking with you and with the audience. Hopefully next time we can meet eye to eye. And if more questions will arise or will be, I will gladly answer them. And of course, I'm keen to work, to collaborate, to create something long-term and impactful. In May, we'll see what will be the political situations and COVIDs of all this between the borders. But yes, that is in my agenda. That is in my plan, and I would love to come to Konya again. Yeah.
Thank you. And I checked, and there is no questions anymore because we answered almost all the questions for the beginners. We touch almost every important point. So then hope to meet you in May.
Yeah, same for me. Yeah, thank you very much, and goodbye, I guess.
Goodbye.